Have you ever wondered why, no matter how hard you try to be kind, respectful, or accommodating, some people still see you as weak or easy to control? There's a hidden language we all speak, not with words, but with the small habits we repeat every day. Sometimes, without even knowing it, we teach the world how to treat us by the way we treat ourselves. Today, we go beyond surface advice or quick fixes. Today, we're diving deep into the 7 mistakes that, as Carl Jung and Alfred Adler revealed, quietly convince others that your boundaries are soft and your strength can be questioned. These are not flaws to be ashamed of, but lessons waiting to wake you up to your own power. You weren't meant to play a supporting role in your own life. Together, let's uncover these patterns and learn how true strength begins from within. When your self-worth is measured by the approval of others, you build your life on shifting ground. Every glance, every comment, every silent expectation becomes a test you cannot control. The more you chase the applause, the more you lose your own voice in the noise of other people's opinions. Jung understood this as the hunger of the shadow, the part of you desperate to be loved, but terrified to be truly seen. Adler saw that the more you crave acceptance, the more invisible you become. Each time you wait for permission to speak, act, or dream, you teach the world that your value is negotiable. But true strength is born in the quiet decision to approve of yourself even when no one else does. When you finally stop begging for validation and learn to trust your own worth, you become unshakable and the world learns to follow your lead. When you silence yourself to avoid conflict, you quietly surrender the right to define your own life. Each time you hold back your truth for the sake of keeping the peace, you send a message that your boundaries can be moved, your needs postponed, your voice ignored. Jung believed that genuine strength is not found in comfort, but in the willingness to face discomfort with clarity. Adler saw that growth demands courage, not just to speak, but to remain rooted in what matters, even when others resist. Conflict isn't the enemy. Self-abandonment is. When you make yourself small to keep the world calm, you become invisible even to yourself. The world learns to test and trespass those who never push back. Stand firm even when your hands tremble. The moment you risk tension for the sake of your truth is the moment others begin to respect who you really are. Diminishing your achievements may seem like humility, but over time it teaches others to overlook your value. When you deflect compliments or minimize your own progress, you plant seeds of doubt not just in others, but in yourself. Jung believed our gifts are meant to be lived, not hidden away to make others comfortable. Adler recognized that every time you refuse to own your accomplishments, you unconsciously signal that your contributions are not worth recognizing. This self-erasure doesn't protect you from envy or criticism. It only robs you of the pride you've earned through struggle and growth. Your achievements are not accidents or luck. They are the result of effort, courage, and vision. Celebrate your progress openly and let it inspire others, not intimidate them. Owning your story invites others to step into their own greatness. Never apologize for what you've built. Let your light be a map for others to follow. Constantly apologizing, even for things that are not your fault, erodes your authority and teaches others to expect you to take the blame. Each unnecessary "I'm sorry" chips away at your self-respect and signals to those around you that your feelings, boundaries, and presence are less important than theirs. Jung believed that unnecessary guilt is the shadow's way of keeping you small, afraid to take up space. Adler understood that self-respect is built not just by doing the right thing, but by standing by your intentions without shame. When you apologize for existing, for asking questions, for expressing needs, you shrink into invisibility. True apologies are powerful, but empty apologies are just another way to seek approval. Learn to speak with honesty and let your integrity explain itself. The world will start to recognize your worth when you stop asking permission to simply be who you are. When you cannot say no, you become a vessel for everyone else's demands while your own needs are left unmet. Each time you agree to something against your will, you send a quiet message that your boundaries are optional and your priorities can be postponed. Jung wrote that the ability to choose freely and with conviction is the hallmark of a healthy self. Adler observed that people-pleasing is not kindness, but a slow self-betrayal that wears away your core. Every yes that should have been a no is a silent surrender of your time, your energy, and your dignity. Boundaries are not selfish. They are the foundation of genuine connection and self-respect. When you learn to say no with clarity and courage, you teach the world to value your presence. The people who belong in your life will honor your limits, while those who don't were never meant to stay. When you hide your true feelings behind a mask of politeness or forced calm, you betray the very core of who you are. Each time you silence your emotions to keep the peace or avoid making others uncomfortable, you send a signal that your authenticity is negotiable. Jung taught that wholeness is not achieved by pretending or denying parts of ourselves, but by integrating every shade of our emotional life. Adler believed that vulnerability is the birthplace of genuine human connection. Your real feelings are not flaws. They are guides revealing what matters and who you truly are. When you repress your truth, you build invisible walls that keep you isolated even in a crowded room. But when you dare to show your real self, you invite others to do the same. Honest expression turns strangers into allies and turns loneliness into belonging. Never apologize for being real. It's your greatest strength. Striving to please everyone is the surest way to lose yourself. Every time you say yes to keep the peace, adjust your values to fit in or change who you are. For approval, you abandon the compass that guides your unique journey. Jung believed that living for others' approval fractures the self, scattering your power in 1,000 directions. Adler saw that genuine fulfillment comes from living with purpose, not from collecting praise. When your happiness depends on being liked by everyone, you become a mirror reflecting the world's expectations instead of your own vision. You are not here to play every role people assign you. You are here to live out your own story. The more you bend, the more you disappear. Real strength is found in honoring your own values, even when others misunderstand. Let those who truly see you be drawn to your authenticity, not your performance. Imagine what would be possible if you stopped apologizing for your truth, if you let go of the need to fit every mold or meet every expectation. Your strength is not defined by how much you please others, but by how bravely you honor your own boundaries, voice, and light. Jung and Adler both believed that real power comes from living authentically, not shrinking for the comfort of the crowd. Each time you break free from these 7 mistakes, you reclaim a piece of your soul's freedom. The world doesn't need another person lost in the background. It needs you bold, awake, unapologetically yourself. If this message stirs something inside you, let it guide your next decision, your next no, your next act of honesty. Share this video, subscribe, and help build a community where real strength is recognized. When you rise, you invite others to rise with you.